Malaysia's biggest agro exhibition, Maha, is back. Bring your family to discover the agriculture, horticulture, and agritourism with exciting attractions and live performances by your favorite artists. Maha 2026, 28th August to 6 September at My Ipserdap.
As Negeri Sembilan's new Menteri Besar officially begins work today, attention is already shifting beyond the state's administration. The election results have sparked fresh debate over what they could mean for the federal unity government, the BN Perikatan Nasional pact, and the road to GE16. Stay tuned for the latest updates from political leaders. Former Umno leader Puad Zarkashi has claimed that Umno is reluctant to end its cooperation with Pakatan Harapan because it is not prepared to lose its cabinet positions. His remarks came after Umno Information Chief Azalina Othman Said defended BN's continued participation in the federal unity government. In a post on Facebook, Puad claimed that without ministerial positions, Umno would struggle to help its allies rebuild itself and maintain bargaining power. He said this showed the party was not ready to become the federal opposition, and it was the reason why Umno feared the BN-Harapan memorandum of understanding could be scrapped. Puad was responding to Azalina's remarks that BN's cooperation with Perikatan Nasional in the Negeri Sembilan election should not affect the federal coalition. She was quoted by Free Malaysia Today as saying that each state has its own constitution and leadership, and that state and federal governments are separate matters. Azalina also pointed out that UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi and Anwar had repeatedly emphasized that the coalition government would continue until the 16th general election. However, Puad dismissed her statement, saying that it was clear as daylight that BN intends to abandon Harapan before the parliament is dissolved. He claimed that BN views the Prime Minister as a liability and that it would find greater benefit in working with PN. DAP Secretary General Anthony Loke has stood by his decision to defend Chennah during the Negeri Sembilan polls. In a press conference last night, Loke, who lost his bid to retain the seat for a fourth term by just 688 votes, described the fight as one of the toughest electoral battles he has faced over his 22 years of running in polls.
I've contested multiple elections. I won all of my previous election, but this particular campaign was very tough because, firstly, the attack during the campaign on me, personally, a lot of slanders, a lot of unfounded allegations, saying that I wanted to wrest power from the Malay establishment. I wanted to be MB. I wanted to control the entire state government. These are all slanders and accusations which caused a lot of negative sentiment among the kampung folks, among the Malay community. I fought against such lies and such accusation, and yet we took it until the last moment. We fought until the last moment. And I'm proud to say that we still garner 47%, including about 20 to 25% among the Malay voters. So even though we are short of a few hundred votes, short of about 3%, that is democratic process. We respected that. There's no regret in fighting. We die standing.
During the press conference, Loke also announced his decision to step down as the Negeri Sembilan DAP chairperson, citing the party's failure to retain the Chennah and Repah state seats during the election. He also said it was to make way for fresh state leadership. Negeri Sembilan Menteri Besar Ismail Lassim has dismissed claims that there were irregularities in his appointment. He insisted the process was conducted in an orderly manner and according to the prescribed procedures. According to Bernama, Ismail told reporters that after officially beginning his duties today, that he believes the appointment process was followed correctly. Ismail was responding to a statement by Wawasan chairperson Rais Yatim, who had questioned the appointment process. Rais had claimed there was external interference in matters related to the state's customs and constitutional provisions. Ismail, who won the Juase state seat in the Negeri Sembilan state election, was sworn in as Menteri Besar before the Yang di-Pertuan Besar of Negeri Sembilan, Tuanku Muris, Tuanku Munawir, last Sunday. The appointment followed the Negeri Sembilan election, where Barisan Nasional won 18 seats and Perikatan Nasional secured 7. Together, the two coalitions hold a 2/3 majority in the 36-seat state assembly.
From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
As Negeri Sembilan settles into its new administration, the election results could provide an early indication of the battle lines for GE16. The latest voting trends suggest Harapan faces a serious challenge if the BN Perikatan Nasional partnership can maintain the momentum seen in Negeri Sembilan. The key question is whether the BN-PN alliance can convert its combined support base from GE15 into a broader Malay unity wave at a national level and whether Harapan can stop the erosion of its support among voters. A Malaysia Kini analysis result showed strong vote transferability between BN and PN supporters, with their voters appearing motivated by the pact's communal agenda fueled by anti-DAP sentiments and perceptions that the Harapan-led Madani government has not made life better. If the same voting pattern is repeated across the peninsula in GE16, the balance of power could shift dramatically, with BN-PN potentially gaining enough seats to form a government without relying on support from Sabah and Sarawak. Meanwhile, Harapan could be reduced to just 43 parliamentary seats in the peninsula. It could also lose Selangor to the BN-PN pact, while its hold on Penang could erode further. For Harapan, the bigger question is whether it can hold on to its traditional urban and mixed seat support base, or whether dissatisfaction among Malay, middle class, and working class voters will continue to spread. The answers may not come until GE16, but the warning signs and the questions are already emerging. For the full analysis, including the seats most at risk and insights from political analysts, visit malaysiakini.com. Still on the topic of Pakatan Harapan, former Klang MP Charles Santiago has warned that the coalition risks losing even more support unless it addresses the rising cost of living, delivers institutional reforms, and tackles issues affecting the Indian community. He said the Negeri Sembilan election should serve as a clear warning ahead of the next general election. According to Charles, the higher voter turnout reflected stronger backing for the Barisan Nasional Perikatan Nasional alliance. He said the message from voters is simple: people are struggling and they are angry. Charles argued that while Harapan may point to its macroeconomic achievements, voters are asking why those gains have yet to translate into fuller bank accounts. He said SARA assistance may offer temporary relief, but it cannot make up for an economy that fails to provide decent, sustainable incomes. Rising healthcare costs, he added, were another recurring concern raised during engagements with NGOs in Negeri Sembilan. Charles also claimed that Harapan had lost the support of many Indian voters following a series of controversies involving temples, the Prime Minister's response to an Indian student, and the perception that the community had been taken for granted. More troubling, he said, was what he described as Harapan's abandonment of its reform agenda, pointing to its handling of controversies involving former MACC Chief Commissioner Hazam Baki and broader concerns over corruption such as the rise of corporate and labor cartels. He stressed that Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and Harapan must understand this: voters are not stupid and they are not loyal forever. He said Harapan should remember how it came to power and why it could just as easily lose it. Meanwhile, Parti Bangsa Malaysia argued that the BN-PN pact's success in the polls could end Gabungan Parti Sarawak and Gabungan Rakyat Sabah's kingmaker role after GE16. PBM President Larry Singh said this was because the BN-PN pact could easily secure a simple majority at the federal level, given the number of seats each coalition won in the last general election. The Julau MP added that the BN-PN formula could also sweep all states in the peninsula. In a post on Facebook, he said the total combined seats won by BN and PN in 2022 was 104, and 112 is needed to form the government. Discounting the political alignment of East Malaysian parties, Singh said he believes that based on the current trajectory, it is highly likely that BN-PN will easily form the simple majority post GE16. In the recently concluded Negeri Sembilan polls, BN and PN consolidated Malay votes to win 25 seats for a two-thirds majority in the state. Pakatan Harapan was relegated to 11 seats. Out of Harapan's 11 seats, DAP won 9, followed by 2 from PKR. Amanah did not secure any of the 9 seats it targeted.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.